Hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of Not Too Complicated 2. How are you guys doing today? How's life? I think once in a while in every series, we need to have an episode where we just do grind. I have been planning what to do, and the only thing which is stopping me is that I don't have machine frames, whether for industrial foregoing or thermal expansion. So I thought maybe we start today's episode by doing a ton of grind and trying to get as much as machine frames as we can. So at the start of today's episode, we're basically just going to be gathering resources. But we can't really just craft everything without any goal, so let us set ourselves a goal. 1 stack of PT machine frames. That's a nice round number, I guess. Of course, in the meantime, we should not forget that we also need a lot of plastic, including HDPE. So where do we start? Well, I have been doing some prep work, we have a decent supply of resources. Some material are cheap and are incredibly easy to make, like the redstone alloy. I love the speed. This is how every mod pack should be. Some material like the treated wood are just painful to make. I made myself a black hole tank, and this one has a capacity of 1000 buckets. And FYI, tanks are one of the reasons that we are going to need a lot of machine frames. Cause if you want to go with mechanism tanks, well, the recipe is not the best. And it's also not that rewarding. And since I'm a very lazy person, can we use a sequential fabricator? Yes, perfect. It doesn't have to be fast. But I think our biggest time sink is going to be the compact machines. I'm not sure. Let us try something. So just out of curiosity, if I start making one, can I place down another one? Not while it's making it. That's a shame. So I'm assuming this is gonna be the grindy part. Oh, I'm missing stuff. It is the grindy part, but basically this is the 6th one. We are 10% there. Almost. Another thing that I have noticed is that these guys are a teeny tiny bit garbage. I need to make silicon and they're not working fast enough, so can we upgrade it to netherite? Oh, I need slime balls. Okay, and voila, we have 2 netherite furnaces. I'm hoping they're better. Oh, this is much better. It's divine. Normally when I want to make something in bulk, I make a montage. The problem is that when there are no sound effects, it's very difficult to make a montage. So I'm very sorry, I can just give you a progress update. We're up to 15? Yep. Well, I thought the process itself does not have any sound effects, but I can add my own sound effects whenever the machine frame is popping up. It's true, I could have used another sound effect, but this was more fun. My cat was a teeny tiny bit confused, but he's always confused. Anyhow, joking aside, I just wanted to give you a very small progress update. We are up to 43. I mean, this is the 43rd one. We are up to 52, but the problem is that we are running out of stuff. We do have plastic, that is good. And just in case I forget, we need flint for making HDPE. We should always make more flint. And unfortunately, we're also out of EMC. That's a few million. I mean, technically speaking, these axes are the best way of getting iron, but I don't know, I'm just lazy to make an automation for it. We just wait for them to despawn. So that is 4 million EMC, that is nice. Okay, we're finally up to 62. There is 2 more left. It's still going to take a decent amount of resources, and maybe we make a teeny tiny bit more than 1 stack. That is 63, and we're waiting for the final one. 1 day. Yes, thank you. We have 1 stack. I am going to use the remaining resources in order to make a few more, so I don't know how many we can afford. Okay, so the final count is 1 stack and 10. I think the logical thing to do is that we convert half of them into simple machine frame. Oh, it's not gold, it's iron. My bad. Also, it's been 2 episodes that we are working on HDPE, let us see how many we're going to get. So as it turns out, our situation with HDPE is not great because we only have 44, and the reason that we need a ton of HDPE is because we need it in order to make the steel casing. You might notice we need 60 blocks, which is essentially 60 HDPE sheets. No, don't you worry, it gets much better. Also, in order to make the metallurgic infuser, black plastic. Also, it gets a teeny tiny bit more interesting because we also need some sort of a PCB, which we need to make it inside an assembler, which also requires plastic. So yeah, we're not doing great. I need to start automating oil and its byproducts as well as the production of plastic and HDPE, but I think we have to wait for it for a teeny tiny bit. Cause technically I want to wait for better tanks, and well, better tanks are going to need supreme machine frame, and well, that requires ether gas. Which brings us to the actual reason that we made a lot of machine frames, lasers. For ether gas and oil, of course, we are going to need a fluid laser base, but also for generating resources, we can use an ore laser. The recipes look really bad, but they're not that bad, so don't you worry. So just to summarize, we need 3 lasers. One of them is going to be for ores because, well, it's going to give us osmium and osmium does not have EMC. And hopefully it's also going to give me cobalt, which also doesn't have any EMC. The 2 fluids that we want at this very moment is ether gas as well as oil. So we need to upgrade 3 of the machine frames into advanced. Recipes are not that different, so we just put all of them in the center. We need to surround it by plastic, like so, and I think we have enough. The fluid drills do require buckets, which is easy to make, obviously. Then what we need is graphite electrodes, and thankfully there is a good recipe for it. We don't have to go through the immersive engineering progression. Well, normally we are going to need coal coke dust inside the squeezer so that we get HOP graphite, but well, we can also use a multi-press servo. I have been making some coal coke, and I guess that's it. I love the speed. We just cook you into ingots. Great. And I need a mold. I just made the blueprint. Here is our mold. If I remember, we can put it inside the multi-press servo, and yes, we get the rods. We need more. We needed 12. We have exactly 12. The other thing that we need is a decent supply of lenses, and I think you also needed a lens? Yep. How do you make a lens? 4 panes and 1 die. Okay. It's just that I don't think they really stack. No. Would have been nice. I have also spent a decent supply of cobalt. Hello, I was looking for you. Yes, I was looking for the gas tier. I was going to say that I used most of my cobalt in order to make... Actually, I don't remember what we made, but we're out of cobalt. I think we made the jetpack. Oh, I hate those. Go away. He flies faster than me. Are you friendly? I don't know. And I don't care. You see, this is why we need the drill because, well, otherwise I have to look for cobalt every 5 minutes. Although having a flight helps a lot. Lovely day at the nether, I guess. We have 27. I'll gather a teeny tiny bit more, then I'll see you back at the base. It's a jellyfish. Yeah, I think for the moment we have enough. 52 is good. We can double it anyways. I just thought I'd pay a very small visit to the area that we used EFLNs in, and well, I found more ancient debris. Oh, it's a big vein. I'm assuming ancient debris is also one of the things that the drill is going to provide us, so yeah. Okay, the drills are going to need some cobalt pickaxes, and well, we need 3 of them. And I have a feeling that we're done. Yes, this is the first fluid laser base, and we needed 1 more lens, and 2 diamond gears. I think we're good. That's my pick, you idiot. Thank you. So now what I need to do is that I need to make as much laser drills as I can. That's not cheap, it's cobalt gear. I'm really hoping that the smelter is dabbling our ores, because otherwise I just wasted a lot of cobalt. We also have some extra rods and plates, which shall be recycled. I did not think this through. The lasers are the expensive part. For the moment we should be able to make 8 of them. As a quest reward, aren't you going to give me like 20 of them? No, would have been nice. Since my bottleneck for making more lasers is cobalt, what we're going to do is that we're going to set up the ore one. Oh, you're fun and slow. Okay. Aha, our first ore, which I think it's useless. Let me get some upgrades. I was under the impression that a laser drill is also going to give you nether ores, but apparently that's not true. Because yes, I'm getting a ton of osmium but no cobalt, so maybe I have to put another laser drill in the nether? I'm not sure. But I did scan a block of cobalt and I noticed, it's not rare. Look, it's everywhere. Yeah, maybe we shouldn't worry about it that much. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to try and get a few stacks, and I'll see you back at the base. Oops. All the disappointments regarding cobalt aside, this guy is not that bad. It's giving us a decent supply of resources, including osmium. I have already processed 2 stacks and well, we got the quest. So maybe we should continue using it because it's also giving us iridium, which also does not have EMC, and it has some uses. You know, to make the ultimate ingot. And also platinum. Anyhow, I have also expanded our base, I have moved our distillation tower to a new platform, and we also have 2 chambers for withers. If it's not obvious, one of them is going to be for nether stars and the other one is going to be for ether gas. But before doing that, we need to fix our power problem. At this very moment we are using solar panels which have a giant flaw. They don't really work during the night. I can't really go with another power system because it's going to be too expensive and I don't think it's going to be that efficient. So what we're going to do is that we're going to have a centralized power system using flux networks. For a very long time I was thinking, how the hell are we going to get some flux dust? Apparently there is a quest. So we can just claim it instead of bedrock. I can harvest it, right? Yes. We don't actually need to have that much because it does have EMC. Yeah, then we don't need that anymore. So where is the catch? Everything seems to be relatively cheap except you. We need cured rubber. The flux controller is relatively cheap and the storage is, I think, painful. Yep, it's just electrum. Well, if that is the case, let us make as much as we can. We have 120 rubber left, so making the blocks is not going to be that expensive. Oh my goodness, don't charge up. The quests don't have any rewards. That's sad. Anyways, a flux plug, a flux point, that should be another quest. Here is the controller. Good. And I really want to have some power storage, so we need 1 in order to make the basic one, which is garbage. We need 6 basic in order to make Herculean, which is semi-garbage. And I'm guessing this is 36? That's a lot of electrum. I just did some rough calculation and I can't really go with the gargantuan flux storage because, well, that requires around 8000 electrum. So I guess what we're going to do is that we go with the Herculean because it needs like 1200. That's something more manageable, and maybe in return, just to compensate for that, we would be able to make some capacity upgrades for the solar panels. Yeah, at this very moment the capacity is 2 million. And if I make one capacity upgrade, how will it affect it? Oh, that's just 2 million. It's not even worth it. I mean, I'm just talking EMC wise, because that's a lot of EMC considering the fact that it needs diamonds, so maybe it's not worth it. The capacity of the Flux network, I forgot to copy the entire thing, is very small, but it's not totally redundant. I can't really go and check the solar panels every 5 minutes. This thing will be in front of me and I will know when we are short on power. Because the thing is, we want to run a stasis chamber and I don't really want to have a loose wither. If I notice that the power is falling down, well, then I can do something about it. Oh, I did copy. Okay, I should have put it on paste. And I was also checking the redstone flux cell does not have any other uses. Okay, then 6 is enough. So here's the basic storage, that should be a quest. Unfortunately, a quest without any rewards. Well, that took a while, but we have the Herculean version. Finally. Also, I have been reading a teeny tiny bit on Solar Flux Reborn, and it's actually a really cool mod. So first off, one thing that I had no idea is that they make a multi-block, so you don't need to wire everything. You see, this one is empty, this one is also losing power. Another thing is that they can wirelessly charge blocks in a radius of 5 blocks, or one machine which is 16 blocks away. That's an amazing functionality. We are definitely going to use it for our drill. But for the moment, let me try to upgrade a few solar panels so that we have enough power, and I'll be right back. I made 12 more solar panels and that is a ton of RF. I'm happy. It's not very symmetrical, but what can you do? How did we create one? Ah, okay, yes, this is what we want. Although power generation is only 10,000? Maybe the transfer rate is not high enough. What if we put it in between? Let us try to void some of the power. Because I really want to know how much we are generating. 20,000. If I put more? Still 20,000. Okay, that seems to be the limit. One thing that we can do is that we can make a few transfer rate upgrades. Just a bit. Yeah, now it's a teeny tiny bit higher. The issue is that you would need a lot of transfer upgrades and, well, they're not very cheap. Well, the magical number which I never paid attention to is that you can have 8 solar panels and it will transfer all the power generated to a single cable. So for the moment, we're gonna go with this. Which means at our peak, we are generating somewhere around 30,000 RF per tick, which is not that bad. Let us not waste it. You see, 23,000 and it's climbing. Another thing that I wanted to know in the new thermal expansion is that how the hell do you upgrade these guys? Apparently you can put an augment that will double it. If we use a reinforced, it should triple it. Oh, that's a quest. Nice. Yes, yes. Now it's 3 million RF. And if we put an RF coil inside with an integral part, that's 18 million RF. Okay, we are going to have our stasis chamber right over here. I am going to give it the power cell, 1 flux point, and we are getting a buffer. That is nice. Another question is, how much power are you going to consume? It's consuming 1000 RF per tick, which is great. Also, let us not make the same stupid mistake that I did in all the mods 3. We're going to put the drill first. And this is exactly the problem with solar panels, and this is why I'm scared. It's consuming 1000 RF per tick because there was a cap. So, here is the wither. Let us hope he cannot escape. What I want to make sure is that we are not losing any power, and it seems we are not. So, hi. Everything seems to be fine. I gave an efficiency upgrade to the stasis chamber, and according to our controller, it's consuming 3000 RF every 1 second and not per tick. So we're good. We don't really have a fancy setup for ether gas as well, we only have 2 drills, and I think that's going to be enough because I was checking the recipes and ether gas does not really have that many uses. The Supreme Machine Frame is the only use, at least the one that I found. And I have a feeling we don't need that many Supreme Machine Frames, but I could be wrong. Nonetheless, here is our first Supreme Machine Frame. Thank you, thank you. And of course we are going to use it in order to make a wither builder, and unfortunately I'm out of plastic, so yeah, there we go. I think the wither builder can go over there. Yep. And since we need to provide it with resources as well as power and a redstone signal, maybe what we're going to do is that we're going to use some entangled blocks. Because I was checking, yeah, the recipe is vanilla. Nice. So we want to link you to the entangled block. Nice. We also want to make sure that we kill the wither, so here is our mob crusher. We also want this guy to work on a redstone pulse. Good. You know, so that it does not spam the withers, it does that every 15 seconds, maybe 20 seconds. So I believe we are done. If we put everything inside the hopper and put it in, we should get a wither. Obviously when the timer kicks in. Yep, we have a wither. He's not dying for some reason. Yep, I need some upgrades for the crusher. So these are the upgrades. It should be faster now. Yep. Perfect. And I think 15 seconds was enough. We didn't need to go like 20 seconds. But this is great. We have automated nether stars. Now that we have fixed the ether gas as well as the nether stars, let us fix oil as well. I extended our platform and well, now we have a basement. I did mention that I'm going to use a drill in order to drill for oil and we're not going to use bitumen anymore, but I think I was wrong. Because here's the thing, bitumen chunks have EMC and we can get them almost in infinite amount. If we put them inside a centrifugal separator, it's gonna give us oil that goes inside the distillation tower and we're going to get the byproducts, but we are also going to get actual bitumen. I'm not really sure if this is something super useful or not, but well, we can convert it into heavy fuel and then there is a special machine which gives us benzene, toluene and ethylbenzene and xylene. I don't know, it gives you additional byproducts, so maybe this is something that we should get. All I'm trying to say is that maybe we need the actual bitumen as well. For the byproducts that we're getting, we need to use some sort of a tank. Previously we used to use these barrels from Engineer's Decor, and well, they're not the best. 12 buckets is just nothing. Then I thought maybe we were going to go with tanks from Industrial Foregoing, but I think I have found a better solution. There is a fluid drawer. And if you're wondering why they don't stack, is because, well, I placed one of them down. On their own they're not great, they have a capacity of 16 buckets, but I think you should be able to upgrade them. I have never ever used them in my life, so let us give it a test. And yes, I do understand that as a byproduct we also get bitumen, but this is negligible. We have a total of 6 byproducts. You don't connect. What if I put a tank? I don't know how it works. So how would you use a controller for it? Maybe like this? What is the use of having a drawer if you can't connect it to a controller? I don't know. Well, it does have one use that I can think of, and that is we should be able to lock it. If we can't lock it, then it's just a cheap tank and it's garbage. Oh, we can lock it, okay, that's good. Lubricant, sulfurized diesel, this is gasoline, propane, and ethane. Oh, I'm missing one. Yes, propylene. Well, at least that is a decent functionality, because if they are locked, if the fluid is empty, then the tanks are not going to be messed up. And here is the moment of truth. Basic version is going to hold 32 buckets. If we give it an upgrade, do I have to do it like this? It's 1000 buckets. Holy, then it's totally worth it. So now what should we do with you? Well, at this very moment I don't really see any reason to process bitumen, and besides we are going to need a few machines and I'm out of frames. So what we are going to do is that we're just going to store them inside a few drawers. We have 3 outputs, so 3 drawers, and you're facing the wrong way. Yeah, much better. And just to avoid any dire wire, we're going to have an entangled block. They're very cheap. So you, my dear friend, you shall be linked to you, and you, my dear friend, you shall extract. Yes, from the bottom. We do this again? Yes, now it's connected. Yes, nice. Oh, and by the way, did I mention that I added framed blocks? It's like the most amazing thing. You should always have it in every single mod pack. I mean, if you're garbage at building like me, because otherwise, you know, you can decorate it better. The tanks are too visible. Is this better? Maybe. Yeah, a teeny tiny bit better. Oh, actually, for the moment we don't really have a good energy condenser, so I'm just going to use a drawer for bitumen, and you auto input. Nice. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, I think it's also a good time to wrap up the episode. We should not walk that way. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed it. Till the next one, bye bye.